1,000 years of war. The greatest warriors the world has ever known. The reason they fight, lost to the ages.
So the premise of For Honor is basically, hey, samurais, knights, and Vikings, isn't that cool? You got 3 different warriors from 3 different parts of the world that all technically existed at the same time, but at completely different peaks in their power. And the excuse for them to be fighting together this close might as well be a portal through time and space. And they use the names Vikings, Samurai, and Knights as, like, nations. It's, like, not a type of warrior, but, like, France. It's kind of weird. It's very fictionalized, and it's clearly aiming for that juvenile sense of, you know, fighting. You know, I like Vikings. I'm wearing a Viking-esque shirt, so I'm going into this game thinking, you know, it could have some potential. Oh, no. 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 Oh. The company who shall not be named. It's an Ubisoft game, and you know, it being an Ubisoft game, it doesn't work! Entire first day, couldn't even get into a game, couldn't even connect to the damn servers. And when I finally did get into matches, despite the fact that some of the modes only require 2 people, it takes forever, it stutters, it freezes, it stops along the way, it drops you from the match. The game uses peer-to-peer matchmaking, and you hear people going like, peer-to-peer matchmaking in 2017? Are you kidding me? And I'll admit, I don't really know what that means. The point is, it's bad and outdated. Ubisoft doesn't know what a server is. If you ask Ubisoft what a server is, they'll oh yeah, those guys who bring you your food? Yeah, right? Like, no, you're a games company. You know internet stuff? And they're like, you can play games online? Yeah, Ubisoft, you can! Not your games, you can't. The game's got horrible NAT issues. My NAT constantly switches from green to red and back again. So, I know when I haven't changed anything on my actual internet provider, I know it can't be me. It's not a setting in PS4, it happens through the game. There are plenty of other games that don't even bother mentioning the NAT. Oh, I got into a match fine. It's probably just your connection. You know what? Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just my connection.
As you'd expect from a game that is entirely online for both single player and multiplayer, For Honor launched yesterday with a handful of connectivity issues. Players have filled up Ubisoft's forums with a number of complaints about the game, mostly due to network problems or matchmaking failures. One of the weirder issues is that the game simply doesn't seem to like when players of different regions try and get together. It boots them all out of the game. How's that for global gaming audience?
No wonder there's no ranked right now in the game, because its online stability sucks even still a week after release.
Darius. Oh, come on.
Right when I hit that attack button, it's as if, what the fuck?
Almost.
But he's at, uh-oh.
Oh no, what happened?
Fuck.
Ready. God damn it. Beard, I broke it.
Shit netcode, crappy matchmaking, and worst of all, using peer-to-peer connections, all under fucking Uplay. It is infuriating.
And if you Google For Honor NAT issues, a list of, like, suggestions and tips will come up. And they all involve you going into your internet router and changing shit. And I'm like, I shouldn't have to go through this big of a process to connect to the damn game. When Ubisoft servers are so bad that the tip to fix it is to turn off your damn firewall, I get a little suspicious. And when the game rolls some dice and decides that my NAT is strict, I might as well not be connected to the internet. Might as well not have the damn game disc in the console. Might as well have my head up my freaking ass! For Honor is very, very... even when I'm playing the damn single player! And it'll tell me, hey, only the group leader can make those kind of super important, high-up, critical decisions like picking a match when I'm not even in a group! So if God decides that you're actually playing a game, how is the combat? Well, it's spammy and random as shit! There's a few different modes, but the most drastic ones are Dominion, which is like 4v4, like zone area control with lots of little AI bot minions. It's kind of like a Lord of the Rings Conquest, like a shittier version. And then there's the 1v1 duel mode. The 1v1 duel mode is clearly what the combat has been designed for. I see what they're trying to do. It's about having stances. You can be left guard, right guard, or high guard. It's like directional based combat. It's the first game in a while that's actually tried to, you know, simulate having to switch directions. And when you're in 1v1, it actually works. That's kind of fun. You got a light attack, you got a strong attack, you got a parry, you got a dodge, and you got a block. So, I mean, it's all the essentials of action combat are there, but the sword swings are super slow and choppy. And again, they have to be so that someone else can have a chance to switch guard and block. And so the point of the game is about reflexes. In this 1v1 mode, it's about getting the right guard right when they attack it. Or if they're doing a strong attack, it's about getting out of the way. Or hitting them with a light attack before they can finish the strong attack, and sometimes it stuns them, sometimes it doesn't, I don't know. So the only time you actually use the directional combat is when you're in guard mode. You hit left trigger, and you'll go like this, and the camera will zoom in, you'll have a little white circle, and you will start moving like your feet are glued to the floor.
So I have like a quadruple attack. She used all her stamina and I can't close the distance. And she killed me! Oh, come on!
But what the game doesn't tell you is, like, what if you never switch to guard mode? What if you're just in free flow mode? Which direction do you attack from? What if you just start swinging at somebody out of guard mode? What direction are you attacking? What direction are you using? You can't block because you're not in block mode at all, but you don't have to if you just spam attacking them. When you're in guard mode, you are planted to the ground, so if you need to get away, you need to unlock, you need to turn around, you need to start sprinting the opposite direction, and by then you're probably dead. The dodge button also doesn't work for jack shit. You move so little distance. The dodge button is more of a feint than an actual like dodge or roll away.
I dodged it and I still got hit. I stepped in the opposite direction of where she was attacking from and nothing happened.
So you can't use it to like get behind somebody and move around. If you want to change positions, you gotta get out of guard mode. Guard mode is for facing one person with your sword and nothing else. Dodging has a huge delay, dodging has a super small iframe window, and the hitboxes aren't always the best. It's a class-based multiplayer system. You pick one of 4 classes from each of the 3 factions, and they have different movesets and attack speed and stuff, so they do feel different, so that's nice. But the Raider can pick you up and throw you off a ledge, and that instantly makes him the best guy. So the core of the 1v1 is there, and that's clearly what the game's designed for, and that's actually not terrible. But then you play Dominion mode, and it's a complete mess. There are people everywhere. This combat is designed to duel one other person. This combat system is wrong for the game mode that they're trying to have. When you have this many people, this should have a more Dark Souls style thing. Just kind of, there is a crowd control attack if you hold down R1 and R2. I gotta say, killing the little minions is fun because you kill them instantly no matter what button you push because they're using communion wafers as shields. And the attack animations are pretty varied and fun to watch. But like I said, the only time skill is ever required is if you're 1v1. In a giant 4v4 multiplayer match, if you're dueling somebody and 2 people come up behind you and start attacking you in the back, there's nothing you can do about it. And the game tells you, is like, oh, you can fight off attacks from other directions just by having the guard to the left will stop all attacks from the left. Well, what if at the same time, the guy in front of me is attacking me from the right? So I'm just screwed? Well, yeah. Yar! And all it becomes is who's got the most players in the most place at the right time. You're attacking so many different people from so many different directions, it completely ruins the timed countering and paying attention and reflexes of the 1v1 duel. That's the only thing the game actually does well. But also, in a game like this, in an action game, with swords and axes, and just tons of friendlies everywhere, there's friendly fire! Can you believe that in a game like this they have friendly fire? And that's the core of the game. That's the most popular mode. That's the mode with very high activity according to Ubisoft's server thing. So that's what people are playing the most, and that's what is the least well designed. There's a story mode section, and the night chapter sucks. The characters are terrible.
Not bad, Blackstone. Not bad at all. Pretty sure I could have done it by myself, but doesn't look too hard.
Everywhere we go, we've abandoned our people. What has happened to the Iron Legion? Wait here. I'll clear the bridge.
But if you push through that, it's fun to be a Viking and go around and do Viking stuff, and charging on that samurai beach and having some Amon Amarth playing in the background can be pretty cool. But the story mode constantly wants you to switch to the guard mode to like have these little duels, and it's like, you can just run past them. Why would I switch to guard mode every time I see somebody? It's such a slog, because when you're fighting the little minions, it's instant kill, instant kill, instant kill, instant kill. And it's very, very fast paced, and you're really moving, and it looks cool. And then the game grinds to a halt every time there's another hero, and you have to like spend 30 minutes fighting him. All while little minions and other heroes are attacking you from the sides, and it's like, my 16-year-old sister mentioned this. She's like, you should be invincible to everybody else when you're in a 1v1 duel with somebody. And I'm like, that's the only way around it that I see. I mean, it's a pretty enough game. It appears to be 1080p. The environments are pretty well detailed. The character models are pretty good too, how their little cape things fly around. The only downside is the beards look like they're made of wood. They don't have individual hairs to them. And For Honor has better graphics than most other Ubisoft games that I've seen. Don't forget the microtransactions. But in a game like this, combat is king. To give us new colors to sing. Who knows where it will lead us, and that's why they need us. If that song does not win the Oscar, I'm gonna kill everybody. It is at times possible to enjoy For Honor. There are times when the combat system has a lot of depth to it, but overall it's very messy, it's very spammy, it's very poorly designed, and the main catch is just, hey, famous warriors from history, cool, right? Like, no. So the score I'm going to give For Honor out of 10 is, oh, sorry, we've disconnected from the service, returning you to the title menu.